SCU versus the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed, one of the new tag teams. They've signed 18 new tag teams, trying to get them all over at the same time, and all of them are greener than pepper trees. I saw the Acclaimed's entrance. Rotten music, mugging for the camera. One guy does rap. Was he lip syncing a pre-recorded track? It looked like he tried to come in a couple of times before it actually got there.
No, I think he was rapping. Was he doing it live? Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's part of the problem too. He was rapping. Anyway, so they're rappers, and they came out with a boombox, and they did a rap, and Kazarian rapped back and was better than the rapper guy. And I invoked the rap rule. I don't want to see any rappers. I don't want to hear any rappers. The music was the shits. I zipped through this. I love Chris Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, but life is too short. One of the rappers hit poor Chris Daniels with the boombox, and the other one pinned him. And then they rapped at the Young Cucks, which is what they called them, and challenged them for next week. So I can't figure out who the fucking baby faces and heels are again. And the Bucks just happen to hang out at ringside holding their belts in a contrived way, but they're all hanging out ringside. Did I miss anything in that match?
Not really. We're back to Daniels coming out with his whole little silly microphone and everything, which just doesn't work for him. They were teasing some dissension between Kazarian and Daniels when they went to...
Oh, yeah, they were arguing with each other.
When they went to soothe the Young Bucks. Who were at
Maybe
ringside.
they ought to bring Emi Sakura back and have Chris Daniels hold the mic stand for her to sing like Freddie Mercury.
Well, we'll see what happens, but the Young Bucks sitting in the crowd with their belts were challenged. They don't know how to act like baby faces. They don't know how to act like heels. They just come across like douchebags. And then that was that. I don't know what to think about this guy's rapping, because in one way, if he's really doing it freestyle, it's impressive. But in the other way, I don't know if it's his voice or if it's because we saw John Cena do this 15 years ago. But there's something I don't like about it, too. I don't know. I'm going to give this some time to figure this one out.
You know who the best rapper in wrestling was ever, in my opinion?
PN News.
No. Paul Heyman. Because he was doing, I was in Knoxville running Smoky Mountain one time. He was doing color, Heyman was, as Paul Lee Dangerously on one of the WCW shows. And I would watch the WCW show. It was on in Knoxville. And I had it on one day. And Heyman and Jim Ross were talking about PN News. And Heyman said, his name is PN News and he raps all the time. But the funny thing about him is his raps don't rhyme. We know that he can sing and we know that he can dance. But with a belly that size, how do he make romance? Yeah, anyway. Next match. Serena Deeb and the Big Swole versus Ivelisse and Diamante. And as good as Serena is, Swole is worse. And I invoke the tooth and nail rule. I know you sometimes like to watch Big Swole to see if something will be really funny.
Oh, yeah. No, she's so awful that I enjoy her so much. She has the worst music. She has charisma. It's just she can't work in any sense of the word. So which makes it funnier when during this match, I think it was Excalibur who said she was trained by Dean Malenko. And I'm like, no, she wasn't. Come on.
What?
So that's a new interesting little thing we could throw in there, that Big Swole, who can't get any of the basics right in any of these matches, who is just horrible in the ring. Apparently the latest to come out of the Malenko training school.
You know why they did that? That's a fundraising effort that they're doing. They figure if Dean hears that, he's going to send them a large check not to say it again.
If Jody hears that, he's going to change his name.
All right. So in this program filled with outlaw talent, goofy booking, heels mad at each other, you can't tell who's who. The best tag team in the world works for this company, FTR, and we get to see them for 45 seconds when they hijack the headsets at the announce desk to complain about being overlooked for, and I quote, a fake-ass Tarzan and a grown man in a dinosaur costume. Stating the obvious, in other words. They get 45, And because they're trying to do a promo into the headset microphone, their audio was fucking distorted, so it sounded like a goddamn CB radio call on this fucking outlaw cable access level program. That's what we get of the best tag team in the world, but we're about to see Pippi Longstocking in action. They can't get out of their own way.